Hello crafters! This is Suzanne from A Creative Muse and I'm here with the Field Notes collection. This is a beautiful collection exploring the outdoors, exploring nature. You get foliage and look at the little microscope looking at the flowers, so pretty. So there are a combination of dies and better press, even a fun embossing folder. But before I get started in this video looking at the Field Notes, I want to remind you that Kit Club is still open for new subscriptions until the 27th of the month. I will link my Kit Club video here if you want to take a look at all the goodies in the Kit Club. Okay, crafters, let's take a look and explore the outdoors with Field Notes. Let's get started. This is the entirety of the Field Notes collection. 3 die sets, 2 better press, and a 3D embossing folder. Field Notes is like a nature study. There are tools when you're doing your field notes, like a magnifier, scissors, a pencil to take your notes, and then there's this beautiful new twine. You guys know I love sealed twine, which I will be showing in this video, but this is a different style of twine, exciting, so you'll see on my example. And this is the Field Notes Wildflower with a little bit of washi too, or any decorative detail you want to think of this, but I think of it as washi. So fun. 2 better press sets. Lush Ferns press plate, which has these 2 beautiful ferns, a large one and a small one, that you can press or glimmer. Same thing here, press or glimmer. This is the Bloom Wildly press plate that comes with 2 sets of sentiments as well, and a sentiment over here. No coordinating die. I wish there were, but I'm going to skip that part. And here is Field Notes 3D embossing folder. Look at the fun here. 5.5 inch wide, 8.5 inch tall. You would use universal plate system with this. Look at the detail. This is a fun one. This you could use for a lot of florals, like have this in the background and then florals. Really, really pretty. Look at all the florals in the fern, and this is a nice one. Really, really nice embossing folder. Field Notes. All right, let's look at my first example. This example features 4 products in this release. The 3D embossing folder, Field Notes in the back. Look at all that beautiful detail. Love, love, love. I started off with a piece of fern cardstock and then ink blended on it and did a little bit of black soot on the outside. So it's like walking deep in the forest, and then there you're seeing the wildflowers and picking them and things like that. That was my thinking. Then it also has the Field Notes Wildflowers. So super sweet. I love how these blooms just layer right on top of here, but still have the detail. You don't have to piece it in. So this technically is like a foliage frame. So is this. And then you just put those little buds there. And here's a washi. I didn't use the washi, but I could have, but I decided not to. But this is a cute little bit right here. I love that little washi. And here is the Field Notes tools. So I didn't use the scissors, but I did use the magnifier and the pencil. Let me give you a measurement here. The magnifier is 3.25 inch tall by 1.5. The pencil, 2.75 inch tall, about 1/4 inch wide. This flower is roughly 4 inches tall and 2.25 inch wide, okay? And here is the twine. Isn't this fun? So this sealed twine, the only difference, this sealed twine, see, I'm still stuck on sealed twine because I love that one so much, but this Field Notes twine is different than sealed twine. Sealed twine is 2 separate pieces, so it can extend to a 5x7 very easily. This one is limited in terms of it being 4.25 inch wide. So I just want to let you guys know that maybe if you put wax seal, then you could stretch 2 sides of this, but it's really made for this type of layout, meaning a portrait card and wrapped here. I'm using brushed gold cardstock here, which is not cracking on the edge. Love that. So this is really pretty though. It's a nice delicate piece, and you just layer up these bits on each other. So sweet. And you can do the bow different styles too. You could do the tails different ways, and then there's a center. You could also put a wax seal here, anything, or a gem or a pearl. Why not? This has a low price point anyway, so it's a nice addition to sealed twine. Sealed twine has more versatility in meaning it can go quickly into that 5x7. This I'd have to play with to do it, but you glue these little tabs right here underneath and do a wrap like so with it. The cardstock choices I have here, fern in the background like I said, rainforest, peridot, carrot for the orange, and beeswax for those flower bits here. The light purple is lavender color wheel cardstock, and this is lilac color wheel cardstock. This is all color wheel cardstock. This is the sealed blooming stems. This piece right here, also in rainforest. And the little tops here, that's in waterfall. And the sentiment, that comes from Bestie's Sentiments Press Plate and Die. Love this one. Lots of sentiments that you can press or glimmer all one time and then die cut once. Here I'm using You Are the One I Believe In. This is glimmered on black cardstock matte silver hot foil roll. Love that. And I'm using the scrapbook.com mixed media pad, which has that nice thick 140-pound cardstock. Do you love the detail in the background? I think that's so fun. And this could easily work on a 5x7 as well. Here is card number 2, and I'm putting them side by side. So you'll see the difference between Seal Twine, the die, and the new Field Notes twine. So there are two different things. So if you love Seal Twine, this is a nice addition to it. But like I said, because underneath here is 2 pieces that wraps around, this is 1 piece that wraps around here. So I'd have to figure, maybe I can figure it out somewhere in here to stretch it to be on a 5-inch, depending on what I'm putting on here. If I'm putting a standard wax seal, then I could leave the whole thing on one side and then cut this piece and go the other side to stretch it to be 5 inches. So you could still double this up, but this is seal twine. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the difference between them. More layers of twine wrapping, just 2 with a pretty bow. The bow could translate over here, but it would have to be with a small wax seal. This is new as well. Exciting new wax seal. I love these. I didn't think I was gonna like them because they're so small, but they are just adorable. Let me go back into this card before I go into the adorable wax seal. So here is the Lush Ferns press plate. The tallest fern is 5 inches tall by 3 3/4 inch. I did glimmer this out on Hammermill cardstock with the green hot foil roll. And the green hot foil roll does look like Christmas. But when you come in with a little bit of ink blending, doesn't it just tone it down into an all year round just green? I'm loving this. So instead of going with gold or some other color, I'm loving this green. I think it's pretty. And then this green gradient too. Here I'm using Altenew Fresh Dye ink on this panel, going from light green, which is all the way up here actually. Their gradient comes in 4, like a quad. So the light green is up here. It does look white there, but it's like a little touch and then more, and then coming on down and going from the 2nd shade, 3rd shade into the deepest here. I think that's super pretty. So this is a wonderful one. If you love better press, doesn't have a lot of bulk. The only bulk would be that wax seal. And then I wanted to turn it into a wax seal card. Here is Seal Twine, which is 1 die. So you see the difference here. You see the mechanics? This round part of the die is right underneath here. Now you see how small this is. So you have to trim this down before you adhere it if you're going to use these mini wax seal stamps. I did a little square off here, a little square off there, and then a little piece here on 2 pieces because I have 1 piece here wrapped around and another piece here wrapped around. And you see how it goes from thin to wide. This is the part you can tape on the back. Fun with Seal Twine. So Seal Twine is in black. Because this has all this green, I decided to finish everything else with black and silver. Loving this. For both layers of my card, I'm using Perfect Touch rectangles and tag dies. Love, 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 love. Largest die is an A2, 4 1/4, 5.5 inch. And the second die is a 1/2 inch shorter, which is really 1/4 inch all the way around. So pretty. And then it comes on in more times to this beautiful tag. So you can keep on layering and get this nice stair step. But I like the distance here with this one. And it still is incorporating this. So technically I use this second die to also layer up and map out where I wanted to have my ferns land. This piece here and then down here. Pretty, right? For the sentiment, happy birthday, it's on me, comes from the Flawless Sentiments press plate and die. This is from the Gorgeous You collection. I'll link my video here. Fabulous makeup collection, but I love this new style of font. I think it's fun. I think it works perfectly here. I tried different ones and this is the one that spoke to me. There are 4 sets of sentiments that you can press or glimmer, and then this piece that you can press or glimmer, and it has a coordinating die. That's what I used over here, okay? Mini wax seals, 4 of them. Just so super pretty. Puffy heart, flower, butterfly, and bow. These are 3D mini wax seal. Fun, fun, fun. And you won't use a lot of wax beads either. So at first, like I said, I was like, so small, because here they are actually. Look how tiny they are. But they are absolute fun. I was so pleasantly surprised with it. I was like, oh, I think I'm in love with mini wax seal. Love, love, love. So here is the one with the little present. See how small that is? This has a 1/2 inch sizing. So most of the circular wax seals at Spellbinders are 1 inch. This is really nice. Bow Mini 3D wax seal stamp. Winner, all 4 of them. Up next, look at this beauty. Crafters, I love this card so much. Surprisingly, I didn't press anything. I did glimmer this one too. And this is on Hammermill cardstock, glimmered on here with matte gold hot foil roll. Look how pretty that is. This is 6.5 inch tall by roughly going out to 3 3/4 to 4 inches wide. Because of the height, of course, I had to come into a 5x7. You could crop it down if you wish. So I started off here with blue ink, came down to a different shade of blue, another shade, and then at the bottom, because of the gold, I decided to bring in yellow and blend it up. And I'm loving this golden yellow coming into the green, back up into that blue. That's why I decided to make this into a Mother's Day card. I think this is very pretty for Mother's Day. I wouldn't give it to my mother. Why, Suzanne? Because she would ask me, why am I giving her all this black? She doesn't like cards with black for her birthday or Mother's Day or Christmas, okay? But I was thinking Mother's Day when I saw it. Are you guys cracking up? This is my crafting. This would be an imaginary card that I would give her. That she will never get, okay? And look at the feel notes. And this time I had put a wax seal here. Now you can see the difference between just a twine and that mini wax bead and then this one. This one is the butterfly mini 3D wax seal. Look how pretty that is. And I was still able to pour it wonky too. I purposely did that. I don't like a perfect circle. I like my wax seals to look kind of organic. And this is feel notes. Why not have it organic? This is saffron color wheel cardstock. Because of the gold in here, I just wanted that tie-in look. I believe this is a pastel blue wax seal bead. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. It does match all of this. Now for the sentiment, I'm coming into a favorite that has been going on super sale a lot. You might want to put this one in your wish list because it's a fabulous one. Always ready for Mother's Day and Father's Day every year. Or just in general, Mom, thanks for everything. Mother's and Father's Day sentiments. You get Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day. Mom, thanks for everything. Dad, you are the best. You press or glimmer and then die cut it once. This is black cardstock. This actually looks like the dark gold satin metallics hot foil roll, the 4-pack. So super pretty, right? And I just put it right there because I have this open space. Now to frame up this card, because I do have 3 layers going on here, I came into this beauty, which also goes on sale. You might want to put this one in your wish list. This is the 5x7 Matting Basics, sets A and B. The largest die in set A is not a 5x7, is 1/8 of an inch shorter. So I had to cut a 5x7 card base. Now to come into this second layer, because this is popped up off of this, I'll show you right here. You see it? But you can't see in here because I'm using black foam tape. I will put a link below and I'll detail and link everything I'm talking about in here. I'll put a link for the tape roll that I buy, which I think is a great bargain for a big roll of 2mm, 1/2 inch black foam tape. Then I'll also put a link for scrapbook.com foam adhesives because they have some new black foam tape rolls in different sizes. Like they'll have strips and 1/4 inch. So I have a few of that, but for things like this, I still like the bigger one that I use. So I have the black foam tape popped up off of this. So that means I came into probably set B, pick this. I had to test panels in here to find out which one would work with the Feel Notes twine. This is a good size. I don't remember which one it is. It probably is this one coming in. So in summary, crafters, here are my 3 cards using the entirety of this Feel Notes collection. I think it's fun. I think it's different. If you love this style, I think this is perfect for you. Bring in these new little wax seal too, or go with the bigger ones. You can also change it out. I think for this bow though, that size works really, really well. And then look at the dies too. If you don't have Better Press, you can still have fun here. And don't forget that 3D embossing folder. 2 thumbs up for that beauty too. Alrighty, crafters, thanks so much for watching. Until the next video, stay crafty, my friends. Bye!